we are basically creating something like this. So this is an alias that I created. So let's just jump into a particular folder. I'll just say touch.env.example or alias.md. So what we want to do is we want to turn this particular series of commands, because I tend to write them over and over again. So we want to turn this into something like this. So this will then run these two commands in tandem. So we're trying to create the alias. How I do it is pretty simple. So what we will first do is we need to locate our config file for our Git. So I'm going to create a new command, and that command is going to do something very basic. It's just going to echo hello world. What we're going to do is say git config global edit. So what we're basically saying to Git here is that we want to edit its global config file. Now that we're on this git config file, we can do a couple of things, right? What I usually like to do is I usually just like to define this and tell Git exactly what I'm doing. So we can say git echo would give us echo hello world. What I'm basically doing is I am scripting this according to how bash is going to read it. So let's just try that. Git echo. Let's see. Right, so you see it's echoing hello world. So we can add some things to this. I am trying this, and we could just do git echo again. Hello world, I am trying this. So let's just add another one. Trial or something like this. Echo is just a trial. So we say git trial. So what we've basically done is we've added a bunch of commands to Git, right, as aliases to help us. So usually if we go back and just change this to CI, so this would then be, we're going to execute this. And what I like to do is I like to create this to basically make sure that our service for the SSH agent would always be completely available where we need it to be. And we want to make sure, in the last video I think I showed you guys how to add keys. So we're going to make sure that our keys are always added, and that then we track all the files that we've edited, and then we commit those files with a message. We know this is a Git folder. We're just going to init the Git again because we deleted the folder before, and then we're going to try to open our GitHub. So guys, we have actually done that. So we're going to add the origin. We've added the origin. If we try to use our alias again, let's see how far we do get, right? So git CI fix updating documents or something like that, right? So it's telling me that I am required to config my username and my user email. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that off the camera. All right, guys, so I have done that. Let's try this again. Right, so you see it says identity added on branch master, nothing to commit, working tree is clean. We're going to pull from origin right now. So what we're basically asking the server to do is to give us the latest updates from what's on the server. All right, so it says I asked to pull from the origin, but I didn't specify a branch. So let's just specify the master branch. So it's asking me, how do I want my changes to be made? So what we could do is simple. We can add this at the bottom. So we can say pull, and then we can say rebase is equal to false. So this will force it to merge instead of rebasing. I prefer merge to rebasing. That's why I usually like to do that. So it says refusing to merge unrelated histories. So when we see this type of thing, we have two choices. In fact, we have more choices, right? So we can basically check out to staging. So it says because there's no staging on the remote sites, now we're on the branch staging. We can then say git push set upstream origin staging or something like that. Let's see, does that work? Right, so we've pushed that, and you'll notice it said staging had recent pushes less than a minute ago, right? So that basically shows us how to create aliases to make our work easy. So you see, when I use CI, I don't need to write all these commands, these long commands again. So that is basically how to use Git alias. If you have any questions, please drop them down below in the comments and I will make sure to get to them. All right, guys, bye.